Where is my horrible wife? Where is my horrible wife? Where's my Dennis? Here I come, rougher than the rest of them that been. Tougher than leather you can call me, Knuckles. Unlike Sonic, I don't chuckle, I'd rather flex my muscle seeing hard as nails. It ain't hard to tell him break them down whether they solid or frail like the rest. I'm independent since my first breath.
Feel the right thing, the worst left, verse 1. Marlon Saunders, born on an island in the heavens. Blood of my ancestors flows inside. Many duty is to save the flower from evil deterioration.
I will be the one to set your heart free to cleanse yourself of the evil spirits that's in you.
Streaking lights, loud sounds, and instinct are the elements that keep me going. Am fighting my own mission of things gonna stand in my way. No.
I will be the one to set your heart free, to cleanse yourself of them evil spirits that's in you.
Don't be frightened. I'll stand up to all the pain and turmoil, just believe in myself. Won't rely on others get this power to wipe out the havoc. And anarchy, this is my planet. Gonna fight for my destiny.
Here I come, ruder than the rest of them, a best of them. Other than leather, you ain't call me Knuckles. Unlike Sonic, I don't chuck Lord rather flex my muscles, I'm hard as nails, it ain't a who neither. Either to tell it breaking then, whether they solid or frail like the rest, I'm independent since that first.
I have no such things as weak spots didn't approve of him, but got to trust him this alliance has a purpose up in muchly pussly.
I will be the one to set your heart free to cleanse yourself of evil spirits that got in you.
Oh, won't be frightened. I'll stand up to all the pain and turmoil, just believe in myself. Won't rely on others, oh. Freedom will be waiting when serenity is restored. This is my plaint. I shall not surrender.
Saxophone solo. Banana, 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 banana. Banana, 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 banana. Banana, 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 banana. Banana, 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 banana. Banana, 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 banana.
I rub a cream made from minion cum on my temple every fortnight. I do push-ups and pull-ups at the same time while fucking a minion. This is how I get rock hard abs in 90 days.
Won't be frightened, I'll stand up to all the pain and turmoil, just believe in myself. Won't rely on others, get this power to wipe out the havoc and nurture. This is my planet, gotta fido.
Won't be frightened, I'll stand up to all the pain and turmoil, just believe in myself. Won't rely on others, get this power to wipe out the havoc, and Anarchithus is my planet, gonna fido.
Be frightened. I'll stand up to all the pain and turmoil, just believe in myself. Won't rely on others, oh. Freedom will be waiting when serenity is restored. This is my planet. I shall not surrender.
Post chorus. Marlon Sanders, yeah, shall not surrender. No, yeah. Humo, humo.
Tread Foxhill, the new porcupine on the block, with the puff's chest out, the wilderness with the ruggedness knock. Knock! It's Knuckles. The blow, throw our independent flower. Magical emerald holder guide. You, the coldest shoulder me spike, goes through boulders. You, the coldest shoulder me spike. Thea Lulnery was born by myself.
outro! Trent Fox, the new porcupine on the block with the puff chest out the wilderness with the rugged nesting. Nah, it's Knuckles, the blow thrower and depth flower. Magical emerald holding to view the coldest shoulder me spike goes through boulder stacks. Why I stay a lone airy was born by my selfie.
I get it on by myself, adversaries get shelved right on. I get it on by myself, adversaries get shelved right on. Am not ready for Cumburger. Need a poisonous goo to ruin my life the moment my stupid, dorky, quirky, geeky feet step in them. Need a radioactive, wretched paw job that leaves me despondent and with negative affect. I've been trying to not breathe as much. To accomplish my new goal, I had to do years of research in the Barnes and Noble. They kicked me out, I get back in. Such is life, I'm breathing less now.
Them horse.
Anyway, we were at a bar and were getting a good laugh at a guy who was playing pool all by himself while wearing a hoodie over his hat, sunglasses under that, and headphones on the outside of all of it. So we started riffing on what could he possibly be listening to. Someone who ID. Someone who I don't think was me said that he was listening to a book on tape of Harry Potter, and out came the wizard people narrator. I joked at night that I was going to rush home and record an entire misinformed book. Harry himself is repeatedly referred to as a god. References are made to the stockpiles of nuclear-level energy that are his powers, and so on. At one point, Harry calls himself a beautiful animal and a destroyer of worlds. He also repeatedly affirms that he is Harry fucking. Potter, numerous references are made to characters taking out unseen flasks or drinking alcohol, and Harry is mentioned as being drunk every day before noon.
Harmony is repeatedly described as incredibly ugly. Snape Snake is referred to as a hideous woman, and at one point, Millie simply remarks that Ron loves Twizzlers. Ron is almost always referred to as Ronnie the Bear. A range of other insults see less consistent use, and Harry.
Need a poisonous goo to ruin my life the moment my stupid, dorky, quirky, geeky feet step in them. Need a radioactive, wretched paw job that leaves me despondent and with negative affect. I require a skittish wench with distemper and woe. I need a quirked-up whore who isn't afraid to spend 40 years in a collective farm doing sexy backbreaking labor. I took her to my shelter, then I freaked it. I get on TikTok, my viewers are ready. I'm gonna let a shark eat my pussy today. Pussy, pussy, pussy.
I thought you were me-tired.
Get the fuck out of here, you dangly bald house owner. Let a shark eat that pussy today. As someone from generic Eastern Europe, I hit da pussy, then I eat da pussy, then I slam da pussy, that pussy getting pleased. Pussy.
I'm ready. With an hour. And some change. I'm ready. We're gonna play through the whole game. Hopefully, get through it all today. And it will be cool. Hello? Okay. The game turned down when I entered it. Interesting. So I ate a couple of slices of the pizza that I made. But I wasn't going to be overindulgent and eat the whole thing.
Pizza Little Caesars. More like Pissa Little Piers. PP Pizza. With extra pissaroni. Yummers.
Girl, you know it. Did we play through it? Did we play through it with the translation mod, chat? The whole game? There's plenty of other people who take this game seriously, I think.
Turned down for what?
Could go check out, you know? I think it'd be pretty funny. Alright, I could survey the two people here. Have y'all played through these campaigns? Would you care? I don't know how I feel about it. I'm the
a god
it worked
of war.
button. Yeah.
A god of pain. A god of yummers.
Most of the first two, word. Okay. I think it'd be pretty on brand to play through it with shitty translations. Because you know, I didn't hear the question. Because I'm gonna try to play through the whole game today. I'm also working, so I can't stay. Understood. Okay. I'm gonna play through it with the bad translations because it's not gonna affect the dialogue, like verbal dialogue at all. So it should be fine. Let me try to make it like fully accessible before I do it. Hold on. How do I do that? Yes, speak English. Very good. My sensation. Okay. Yeah, I think it all looks good. Yeah. You should play it in Swedish. I mean, it went through Swedish already, and now it's back into English and a bunch of other languages too. Hi. Hi, Brybussa. What's that name? I'm bald. Use the button to move your character.
Welcome to the agent program, Initiate. I'll be waiting for you inside. Follow the lights, please.
Sam has already outed you? What, on his stream? The one time I typed in his chat? Yeah, I remember that. That was funny.
Majestic, isn't it? I'm Diana. I'll take you to your quarters.
Someone likes to keep secrets.
Secrets are our stock and trade. Besides, from what I hear, you have a few of your own. I'm not like you, in case you're wondering. I'm in the Handler program. Agents and handlers work in unity. You know the expression, know your enemy? Well, that part is my job.
Knowing your enemy is only half the victory.
I know. You also need to know yourself. I'm working on it. I read your case file.
See, that's why we're in this
Impressive work.
mountain we're working.
Hardly textbook, but I suppose fieldwork never is. Tell me, what did it feel like, taking lives?
What do you want to kill?
Disordered.
This is chaos.
Is that why you came here?
Should I turn the game down, like talk over it? I think I will. Hold on.
Well, we are here. Basic training starts at 0600 hours.
6 p.m.
I should leave you to prepare.
Be ready for me. This cutscene's fucking loud.
Are you sure about this?
I am.
There are no second chances, Miss Burnwood. Not here.
I choose him.
I chose, quote unquote.
Why? A blank slate, antisocial, apathetic and unresponsive. No doubt the boy shows promise, but...
Perhaps I see possibility where others see limitation. Isn't that what a handler does, sir?
What?
We'll see.
We'll try to kill them all. Miss Burnwood.
He still remembers nothing?
Do you remember him?
Sharing.
We will check up.
Even if I did, I wouldn't.
The hospital in Romania.
See history. Roman hospital?
Keep him under close watch.
At this time, watch him. How do you get AM and PM wrong? Yeah, double quote, double quote. All right, we beat the mission. Do you want graduation? Screen or receive, chat? I think we'll screen.
I started the mess, puggers.
Gronky. Your training begins at 0600 hours.
Welcome to Advanced.
Do I not have Pepe Clap?
This operation originally took place in Sydney.
If not, I'll add
It
it.
was Calvin Ritter, infamous cat burglar, also known as the Sparrow. You will need to infiltrate the yacht, isolate and eliminate your target, and exfiltrate, all without arousing suspicion. And remember, as an ICA agent, you are the most dangerous person in any room. But blunt force will get you nowhere in this business. And a true assassin never calls
Do I not
attention
have
to
Pepe
himself.
Clap as an emote?
Good luck.
Because I will add it if I need to. Also, the game got really quiet, but the cutscenes aren't. I guess I'll just have to write it.
As previous tests have established, you exhibit an unusual level of enhanced sensory perception. Use your instinct now to sense the position and movement of people around you and identify your target. That mechanic is in your way. Sneak up and subdue him quietly.
What the fuck?
You put on his clothes. That's a first.
Oh, my! When I play the game,
I'm
my
the guy
saves.
whose job it was to bring a palm tree in here. Then I got shot for
just
knowing
work,
too
though.
much.
People do tend to see
No,
uniforms, not faces. Be cautious, though. Some people are more observant than others.
It happens.
Not bad, Initiate. Hold on. That mechanic with his back turned? He's what we call an enforcer. He knows his crew and he'll see right through your disguise.
I don't
so
care.
stay out of his line of sight.
You don't waste any time.
You're in. Well done, Initiate.
Suppose on a boat like this.
Right. Now for the tricky part. Start by locating your target.
That's cold.
Intel suggests he's around the bar area.
Move!
You have been compromised. Try and lose them and change your disguise. Your target is down. Now head calmly towards an exit.
Easy work. Easy work.
Dispatch, for Christ's sake, you there?
Yeah, they're never gonna find me. The perfect crime. They'll never know. They'll never know. He's like, I smell bald pussy in here. Something smells rotten in here. rejection. When we throw stones at people, we hit until we perish. I'll wake you up when I find you.
I hid in that freezer for 2 weeks. Eventually, everyone just went home.
To remove, press and hold the target, then release and shoot.
Yes, okay, I got you, man.
Well, that's gonna leave a mark. Good thing we have insurance.
So true, Diana, so true. Come out. Objectively bubbles. After the threat was discovered, special security guards escorted some prisoners to a maximum security area.
The red car marks your exfiltration point. Simply push the button and you're in the clear.
The car moved out of me. Completion of work.
Advanced mission training complete. And may I say, elegantly done, Initiate.
I thought that alarm noise that started playing was like from my neighbor's house for a second. And I was like, damn, they're really fast at turning their alarm off.
How did you know?
I told you he had talent.
He passed basic braining.
Such skills and reflexes. They could only be the result of previous training. Power like that, with no moral restraint, it could be dangerous.
I thought that was rather the point, sir.
All agents
I think
have
the point
weak
is
spots, Miss Burnwood. Pressure points to keep them in check. But this one,
like reflexology? I'm gonna rub on his feet, hit his pressure
perhaps
point.
it would be better to just
Give me a chance, sir. Give him a chance. I will take full responsibility.
Very well. It's your show.
That was actually, like, out of all the translations we've been seeing, not that
Welcome
bad.
back, Initiate. As an ICA agent, every child...
Yeah. Free education. It takes longer to do than the exam. BR. I guess break. You can choose the method and use the call as a guide. BR. Brazil. I encourage you to make every effort. Free education. I've already done everything on this.
Where do you think you're going? You're not coming through here.
I'm going to Poop Town, dude. Shut up. Easy. Easy peasy.
Hey.
Hey. Oops. Silly me.
Okay.
Don't worry about it, bro.
Sir, I'm sorry. This area is
It's chill, dude. Don't worry.
What did he say?
You don't waste any time, do you?
He's gonna assassinate the president. Keep it real.
Hey,
Easy work.
Come on, guys, let's work as a unit here. Right, somebody help me! Hey!
Beep. Once again, great work, Initiate. This exercise is available for as long as you need.
I don't think I need it. Thanks, Diana. Thanks, Diane. Great killer. More discipline. Nah, I'm good on discipline. Disguise yacht. Was that the name of the disguise?
I just got word. Romania was a dead end.
You Romania,
You're saying that
stop.
he lied?
I said alive.
Deserted, but we
This
found
is
no
the
trace
lowest
that your
place
man
in
was
the
ever
world,
there,
isolated.
or anyone else for that matter.
No traces of Romania anymore.
Steps.
We'll keep digging, of course. But
Great,
frankly,
just the
it's
best
as if
10 out of
Earth
10.
just spat
Yeah.
him out. Are you still determined?
Does it matter? I was told there'd be no second chances.
Don't believe everything you hear.
Don't believe me, Miss Burnwood.
My
Quote.
decision stands.
Very
My plan is to
well.
get up in a strange way.
I'll be watching.
I'm asking you. Oh, yeah.
The final test is based on an authentic 1979 mission. the high point of training Director Soda's career as an active agent. The target was Jasper Knight, a famous US chess master exposed as a Soviet spy. Soda's caught up with Knight at a military airfield in Cuba and eliminated him against all odds. This will be your objective as well. Now listen carefully. ICA exams aren't normally this difficult. Not only was the airfield a virtual fortress, but he even added additional guards. Sodas wants you to fail. He considers you a
Dang
threat,
Soders.
and this way, your unfortunate
Dang
exit
Soda
from the
Pop.
program won't raise any eyebrows.
They should have a mission where you
thinks
have to
we're
fight
bowing
Corn
out,
Pop.
He is sorely mistaken. Good luck, Initiate.
Thanks, Mommy. Thanks, Dummy Mummy.
Secret listening. Some conversations are more important than others, and listen with your ears. Okay?
Did you print out the safety protocol for the jet?
It's on the clipboard. Look, we really have to do this, all things considered.
We're putting a pasty-faced egghead inside a Mach 3 fighter
Say
jet.
what?
Yeah, I kinda think we do.
I get it, I get
Hey,
it.
what?
It's me. I'm hearing suspicious sounds.
I don't care which one of you does it, it's mandatory. Just tick the box and get it done.
I don't think I need to do that. Okay, redo. I send the message again. Whatever that means. Secret listening.
Did you print out the safety protocol for the jet?
I might have to close some stuff in the background. The game seems a little jerky.
We really have to do this, all things considered.
We're putting a pasty-faced egghead inside a Mach 3 fighter jet. Yeah, I kinda think we
Game seems a little jerky.
Target down. You did it. Now head towards an exit.
I shot a guy in the head. Now I go home. Jerky like the beef kind? Yeah, this game's getting a little beefy jerky.
Congratulations, Agent. You are clear.
Soda!
for
This
field
was
duty.
too easy. Is chicken jerky a thing? We could start calling Agent 47 chicken jerky. This is the Shadow Killer. I would try chicken jerky. Is that a thing?
I hope you know what you just did.
I hope you know what you just did.
The chopper leaves at dawn. Now get out of my
We
sight.
can't see right now.
So what happens now?
Should I do quote?
You go back into the world.
I came back.
Disappear,
It wasn't the
stay
land.
on your own and
I'm
on the
alone.
move. When we need you, we will contact you.
We'll be in touch if necessary.
And sodas?
He played his
Sounders.
hand, and he
Lost can no longer touch
He
us.
cannot touch us now. Still, I can't believe we beat him at his own game.
If you know your enemy.
Quite right.
That's all.
I should tell you, the trail
The
went
system
dead after
disappeared
Romania.
after
Our
Romania.
team found no records of any kind. No name.
Our team didn't score a goal. No name, nothing.
47.
I think I call myself 47. That's not the name.
So make it one.
Quote unquote, make one. Are you okay, Soldier 47? Are you okay? I looked it up, and there's a company that makes sweet cherry flavored chicken jerky, and now I don't want to try it. Yeah, that guy hates cherry. My boyf.
You can jerk anything if you're brave enough. Sounders. That's not the name.
That's my boyfriend in chat right there, Brybussa. And let me tell you, he does not like cherries or cherry flavored, artificial cherry flavored stuff. I'm sorry that you found that. What a beautiful intro, though. Look at this.
Nobody ever came close.
Nobody was close.
You defined the art.
I've identified art. I've identified it. Great job. Sounders.
Your actions have changed the world. Powerful men have fallen by your hand, but by the same token, others have risen.
Hey, chat, I think.
Realize what kind of world you've been shaping? Does the ICA?
I thought of something funny. Is that what the CIA is doing? Is that your manager? Can I speak to the manager?
I live in that world.
Wow.
I have seen the consequences.
I saw the results. I felt
the cost. That's what defines me.
Damn. Cool guy. Alright, let me shut some stuff down on the back end here. Oh yeah. Oh, I had a bunch of stuff. Okay. Wow, the ICA is supposed to be like the CIA? Not really. I mean, it's supposed to be, it's supposedly a private, like, corporation. Hold on. I gotta debug a little something. Shouldn't take long. All right. Let me. I gotta do. Shut a couple of things down. Turn a couple of things on. And what I'm gonna do in addition to this, let's go to the menu. I'm gonna bump up like the volume of the game so that it is more consistent, and I'm gonna like turn just like my headphones down. Okay. I think maybe that should be better. Okay. Let's see. Let's change a couple values here. One moment, please. And yeah, that's good. All right, that should do us well. I think. Okay. Gaming. Date Defendant. That's the first game. Date Defendant. The ICA needle holder. Death, Sweden. Deca. Okay, I think I'm gonna bring the pistola. I'm gonna bring this briefcase, and inside the briefcase, I'll put the Vomitrol, and then I'll smuggle in a remote gas vomiting device. I could. I don't know if we need, like, lockpicks on this mission, so I guess explosively. We'll bring in a... Wait. Gun. No. Wrong gun. Equipment gun. Wrong. We'll bring the Calmer. We already are bringing a lockpick. Okay. Wait a second. Didn't we get... Hold on. Aha! Guys, we can be fabulous! But I'm not gonna do it. I'm gonna be the clown again. I'm addicted to being the clown. Oh shit! Okay. Okay. We're good. Guys, we work for Ica. Can you believe it? The joke here being that that is a Swedish grocery store. All right, we up here. Okay, okay.
Quick sweep for explosives yesterday. Let me tell you, this guy's got more freaking art than the Cosmo.
What was that? Oh? He is silent when he receives him. We're doing good. Something. Oh, he has a fan.
So have you met Dahlia Margolis yet?
I can't say that I've had the pleasure.
We know that
I did not mean to do that. Son of a bitch. I started the message. Okay.
That ain't the half of it. You should see his downstairs apartment. I'm not kidding. It's
You should see his
closed off.
downstairs.
You did a quick sweep for explosives yesterday. Let me tell you, this guy's got more freaking art than the Cosmopolitan. What? My genius friend? Cosmopolitan.
This guy has more artwork than Cosmo from Very Odd Parents has fucking money. Probably. I don't know. Are the fairies rich? Suspiciously rich fairies.
What the?
What the?
Man, got some strange noises here. Looking into it. Over. Hello? Anyone there?
Whoa, whoa, whoa. No, no, no. Jump out the window, though. Oh, God, my fucking briefcase.
Hopefully this guy comes over here. Or maybe goes away. Yeah, I'm trespassing if I go clown mode in there. In the belly of the beast.
What kind of third-rate contractor did this whole light rig set up?
I don't like this start. Swap tasks. We're going in like this. Actually. Let's just start in there. I picked the wrong place. There we go. Beautiful. Beautimus. It's hard to arm the close enemy.
That is Dahlia Margolis, supermodel turned spy master.
Ladies and gentlemen, knowledge without power is just ivory-towered academics. Power without knowledge is simply brute force. But combined, power and knowledge shape the face of the planet.
Yeah.
Happy bidding.
Yeah. You're so true.
Ladies and gentlemen, please place your anonymous bids on the tablets in front of you, which also contain detailed
I'm gonna
descriptions
shake you
of
like
every
a
item on
baby.
sale.
Hell yeah.
Let us get started. The first article, a drug-related activity.
Good evening. I don't believe we've had the pleasure, Mr.
Reaper. Tobias Reaper. I'm a friend of Victor's.
I see. I wish I had been informed. Well, no matter. Do enjoy the auction, Mr. Reaper. I will see you later.
Looking forward to it.
Looking forward to it. Hi, Sam. You just woke up. Welcome. Spacebar to organize trade unions. Boom, dude! Boom, dude!
Target's gone!
Where'd our guy go? Did we lose him?
Where'd I gotta go? Where'd I gotta go? No, no, no.
Why would he be doing that?
He saw me. He's like, huh? What are you talking about?
stop fucking acting like a dick?
Whee!
Over there watching videos on their phone. Oops. I haven't been watching for a second. I come back and you're just chilling on a fucking ledge staring straight at the wall. What the fuck? Well, I didn't want to freak those guys out. I had to be quiet for a second. Well, looks like I gotta hide in the box for a little bit. Actually, I think I might restart it. For fun. I wish we could start with the clown outfit, because that would complete a clown fart, and we could do a clown fart. That'd be funny.
Ladies and gentlemen, knowledge
Welcome
without power
to City 17.
is just ivory-towered academics. Power
Gotta
without
pee.
knowledge
Ruins her speech.
is simply brute force. But combined, power and knowledge shape the face.
All right, be sure to check and frisk anyone.
That it? Oh yeah.
Well done, 47. Victor Novikov is next.
That's a lot better. They don't know what the hell happened.
Hey, I need your help. Please, no panic. Everything is under control.
Everything's
Please report
fine.
anything out of the ordinary to us.
Don't worry about it. Everything's just fine.
Shit. Still no answer.
Still no answer.
It's not her style.
It's not a style.
That is Victor Novikov, head of Sanguine and ringleader of Iago.
Boom, dude. Gotta go. Gotta go.
No sign of the target. Anyone have visual?
Sometimes the chandelier comes down, chat. All right, you gotta know when to duck and tuck and roll. And now I go into the hole. Duck, tuck, and roll into a hole today. Like, what if you couldn't get the door open?
Comprehensive experience.
Physics teacher. Oh, this is Gorp Darius IV, meeting up with
How was Moscow? Kamarov is gone. I set him up as a Langley spy. It's quite the scandal at the FSB. His death will not be investigated. Your turn.
Very well. The secrets of the global elite.
5 years of work. Everything we've collected. This thing makes WikiLeaks look like a gossip rag. The pen beats the sword, huh?
Fight?
I have found that whoever wields the
Whoever
sword
holds the
decides
sword, who holds the pen. So true words have never been spoken. File secure, no loose ends. Leak the names.
Smile, Victor. Your
He's a fast
reputation is
texter.
safe. Now run along.
Last
I'm
time
sure
I think you have
pretty
nice clothes.
dresses to attend to. Victor.
Winners.
Good luck with the show.
You're happy to. This is not
I
what he
have a
said.
feeling it's going to be the one you'll be remembered for.
Damn. It was a cold setup. Please continue the story. Please. What? Oh, okay. Clown. Sapiens, a website. Love that. Yeah, we could be a fart scientist. That's pretty cool, right? You will shoot it, children. What'd they call the AK? Hold on. The Ancestral Assault Rifle. Bro, this is some World of Warcraft shit. What are you talking about? Now, whilst a gentleman might see an assault rifle as vulgar, this is the perfect weapon to protect your sheep from a pack of wolves. Okay. Interesting. Impulse attack a native. No, don't do that. Impulse attack a lot. Remember the A-lot? Remember the A-lot chat? Remember the A-lot. Yeah, this will be good. That's a good program. Husband's extermination. First of all, DNA file. Is that what that's supposed to say?
Ether's field lab. You made it.
Yay.
The virus prototype will be close by. Look for some type of quarantine unit.
Okay.
Oh shit, they got the brain on the whiteboard. That's how you know they're doing crazy shit. They're up in here fucking using Ubuntu. Press spacebar to organize trade unions.
Ask Guillermo to run a control experiment.
Yeah, so this is where Mrs. Sanchez keeps all the
Okay, so I gotta make like a banana and split.
I'm not
Oh,
sure.
well, that didn't count. That didn't count. That didn't count. I wouldn't worry about it. Because it didn't count.
Ether's field lab. You made it. The virus prototype will be close by. Look for
Well, I
some
got
type
that
of quarantine
virus.
unit.
You're fucking plowing through these like I plow my fucking field, then plow my back-breaking labor fucking wife.
Yeah. Hard labor, hard back-breaking labor, if you know what I mean. If you catch the drift that I'm drifting. Damn, somebody shot every single security camera. That's crazy. Someone's taking really extreme measures.
Nothing.
Yeah, probably. He thinks he's alone. To be inspected. What the hell?
Pussy.
That camera's crazy. That guard heard that fart. Wild.
Yeah, nothing here.
Really?
Really.
I'm in trouble. I need help now.
Hey, mister.
You'll pay for it.
Okay, well. Alright. Third time's charm. The National People's Congress of China takes the currency. Okay. You see faces, you can destroy yourself in a mirror? Excuse me?
Ether's field lab. You made it. The virus prototype will be close by. Look for some type of quarantine unit.
Okay, mommy. Whatever you say.
Huh? Easy. I gotta get me one of them biolab suits. That'll be good. Give me the key. I want a butter. Oi, oi. Should I throw the fart suitcase over there? I have to make it a fart suitcase first. Yeah, fuck you. All right. Plan D.
Ether's field lab. You made it. The virus prototype will be close by. Look for some type of quarantine unit.
There we go. There we go. All right. Get that. Go in here. What's up, Greg? What's up, Greg? What's up, Gregs? Everyone here is Greg.
In a
Greg.
sealed container.
Greg.
The virus prototype.
The virus include ventilation. Oh, fuck this shit up. Oh, I gotta get everyone out of here. Let's see. Do not mix droplet.
Dangerous compound.
With this one.
Compound. Processing.
Uh-oh. Turn on the ventilation, guys. Oh, Mom, it's bad. Guys, it's bad. Guys, they're just pumping all the
Stats are stable, that's good.
Ah, dude, it's so Monday, you know? It's so Monday, dude. Oh, dude, I'm fucking I'm boiling it. I'm just boiling it. Oh, it's bad. It's gonna pop. Bro. Wow, this is really loud. Oh! It blew up.
Virus destroyed. 2 targets removed.
I feel like Master Chief. All good, Dr. Butt Doctor. Thanks for tuning in. Catch you later. Something's gone terribly wrong with that virus. Oh, fuck. I got recorded by the camera. Where did they make the sausage? And by sausage, I mean, where do they keep the evidence? Right here. Oh, there's dudes. Enjoying this loud level. What the fuck was that?
Oh, come the fuck on.
When you come out, your shit is gone.
I'm in your area. I'm in your area.
Well, that was close.
I'm in your area.
Wait, hold on. While I'm here. Had to get that done. Disguised as a shark, he threw the three bodies into an acid bucket. I guess I'll do that later.
Entering the ether lab requires a key card and a uniform. Luckily,
Bitch, I work
seems
here.
both are within reach.
Bitch, I work here. Oh, the frames.
Okay.
Run! No autosaves? Excuse me. I'm going so fast through these that there's... Okay. We gotta do that again. We gotta do it fast. I'm gonna do it fast this time. At least I know what to do.
Ether field lab. You made it. The virus prototype will be close by. Look for some type of quarantine unit.
Beep, 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 beep. Crap! And danger, 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 chemical, danger, 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 chemical, danger, danger, mixing shit with piss, opening up the vents, mix the shit with the piss. Aw. Increased temperature. Oh, it's gonna blow up. Crazy. Crazy shit, crazy, dude. Don't go in there, it's bad. Yucky. What?
Huh. I didn't like the sound of that.
I do. What? No! We're going so fast that it's still not autosave. Incredible. It knows. It knows not to fuck around. It sounded funny. Yeah, wah. Oh, come on.
Ether's field lab. You made it. The virus prototype will be close by. Look for some type of quarantine unit.
Yes, ma'am. We gotta go! Sabotage.
Double no, y'all was sabotage.
Eboop.
Warning, dangerous compound.
Warning. Bleach. Warning. Windex. Warning. Bleach. Windex.
Processing.
Beep, beep. The loudest room in existence. He got scared by that. With good reason. Oh, he gonna go tell somebody. Did he just say Xenu protect me? Oh my god, he's a Scientologist. Oh.
I heard that.
I heard that.
There.
Virus destroyed.
Virus has been detected. I just crop dusted those guys farting on my roommate's friends. No ingredients, no pizza. Papa Sweat. Papa Squat. No one cared? No one cared. That guy cared.
Slightly annoyed, we'll admit to that.
Damn, they got hella burritos. It's awesome in here. Hey, what's up? What is up, Riggin? I'm playing through the entirety of the Hitman campaigns. Hitman 1, 2, and 3. I'm gonna save. But yeah, it's the last day of the Twitch event. Drops are enabled for people. And I love this game, so yeah, I wanted to play through it again. The frame rate's seeming a little choppy for some reason. I didn't want to embarrass myself in front of those guys. Oh. Okay, they didn't care. No one cared. Whoa. Yeah, like, holy frames. Holy frames.
backgammon settings. Okay. 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 No, that does nothing. Okay. I probably have just a bunch of dead weight in my OBS right now.
Who made that noise?
Nobody. Damn it. God damn it.
They saw everything. They saw the... Yeah, let me look over here. Run. Just run. Once you discover you can run past most threats in this game, you know, you have a pretty good time. You have a lot of fun. It doesn't work for everything. You gotta know when to employ it. Yeah, I might have to, like, restart the game or something in a bit. Seems a little... It's chugging.
What was it, an explosion or something?
Nah, nothing like that. One of the lab.
One of those lab people was out there doing lab things. I'm kind of looking for crocodiles. I do want to know where the inflatables are. It's a habit of mine. I don't think I have anything fucking explosive, do I? Nope. Is this trespassing? Is it cool to go into places like this? Do they even care? Okay, pressing myself up against that glass counts as trespassing, so don't do that. We're going into the
Entering
sewers.
the ether lab
No, we're not.
requires a key card and a uniform. Luckily, it seems both are within reach.
Yeah, but we need a lockpick, lady.
Hazmat for real?
Oh yeah, it's bad. You don't want to be on that beach like days ago, dude. And it's still so bad. In fact, it got worse. That guy's a freak. Ain't nothing wrong with being a freak. But that guy's a freak. He had to die. He had to die. He had to die. Here. Door bong. Door rang. Why is this here? There's no one here. Why is this here? Just to waste my precious time. Dude, the hazmat suit breathing is starting to get to me. Hi-oh. Hold on. Drop that thing again. Not that thing. Put that thing away. Drop that thing. Take that thing out. Put that thing away. Put something in that. Put the fart in it. Now we have a farting briefcase. I'm in. He'll be alright. I can hide him in here, but I won't.
There was a dead rat under my bunk. Oh, good.
He said there's a dead rat underneath something of his, and the other guy was like, oh, good.
Oh, this isn't good.
He's got to go vomit. You're not a clown, but I'll let it slide. Yeah. Thank you. I'll be a clown again before you know it. I should definitely disguise as someone who, like, works here. So maybe this guy on the couch. Oh, this guy. Oh, hi. Don't worry about me. He's like, what? Anyways, I gotta puke. Right. Yeah, right. Not today. It's so toxic you need a hazmat suit. Jesus Christ. Disguise as a mixture of harmful substances. I always do this. Okay, so she's coming over here. She's going up. I can go up too. I can go up all by myself.
That is Francesca DeSantis.
I see. Can I come up there?
Everything quiet on your front?
Yeah. Oh. Oh. Okay. Damn it. They shut the door on me. Shut the door on me. Damn it. Alright, smooth. And then gas vomiting explosive device.
Yeah, you need to see a doctor right away.
Yeah, the fart box.
Hey, who are you?
God damn it. It's clutch. Yeah, it's clutch. Yeah. Yeah.
What?
Yes. Wait, she picks up the briefcase? Huh?
Target down. Next up, Silvio Caruso.
What the fuck just happened? Alright, we gotta kill that other guy. Oh, dude. If I can land this shot after multiple repeated tries. No. Okay, you didn't see anything that didn't happen. We're gonna try it again. Yeah, just let out a little roof squeaker. Dang it. You think it'll even hit him from this far away? Alright, I'm gonna get him this time. Just line it up just right. Get that timing up. It's gonna be good. I gotta shoot it way higher. I actually saw it this time. I gotta shoot it way higher than that. And aim it. Little fart bullet gonna travel through the air, gonna go right in this dome, dude. It's gonna be great. Check this out. Damn it! Well, don't save. Don't restart. Load. One more. Yeah, it's dropping. It's dropping hard. Maybe if I can drop onto this other section of roof. On the roof. Yeah. Yeah. I don't know how to do it. I don't know how to do it. Easy. Easy work. Can. What the?
That is Silvio Caruso.
Uh-huh. Is that so? Interesting.
Oh, you gotta go vom vom, boss? Boss, you gotta go vom vom.
Health Union. Hidden cases. Who's this bozo? About to get knocked out with a fucking lead pipe. Whoop. Up to open the messages. Huh? Huh? It says that where he's going, Bam Bam? Ugh. Windows always do that to me. Alright, alright, alright. I can't do anything from here. Unfortunate. Well, I've weakened his constitution. Alright. His day is worse now. Damn. Damn, why they like just watch them fucking throw up, man? Leave them alone.
It's clear. Nothing here.
What was that? What was that look?
You idiots! I need help!
Oh, he saw me. What?
Take him down!
Okay. Confusing. Reload from here. I have a new, cooler idea. And you're gonna see it executed flawlessly. Failure to die has a negative impact on you. That's... Thanks, game. Well, that wasn't part of the plan. One more good one. One more try before we go messy. Actually, I should shoot one of his fucking bodyguards with it. Actually, I should shoot the fucking guy and get the fuck out of here. See ya.
All objectives complete. Now head towards an exit.
They tell ya, hey, kill the guy.
Hey,
You do it,
box of VHS
everyone gets
tapes
mad at
in
you.
the servant. I didn't know where someone-
Don't make no sense.
I know you. Anyone
No,
know this man?
you don't. But it's fine. I smooched it. Now I'm gonna get in my VW.
Whee! Here I go in the tunnel! Beep beep!
Ether Research Institute. Modified. Injecting old injecting old vomit. An old copper syringe containing a dose of emetic poison. People receiving the medication immediately feel nauseous and look for a place to vomit. To inject poison, feeling weak. Plague Doctor. Oh, like start as the Plague Doctor? Injecting people with old vomit. Johannesburg, 1 week
The
later.
security's in the dark about the incident. A few at the company knew about the virus. Not even the board. Especially in the lab. I understand.
Yeah, you gotta roast that fart right before you get in the car.
Boss is unhappy. I followed you from Italy. I guess when you're invisible, you stop looking over your shoulder.
You did this.
Iago exposed you. ICA did the heavy lifting. I just pulled some strings.
Yeah, your mind.
Have you changed your mind?
How do you expect...
I played dead. That's how you defeat a stronger opponent. You strike from behind.
God, the
Give me the
timing.
key.
You have a family? Trust me, if there's a weakness, Providence will find it.
I'll take my chances. The key.
Fine. Won't do much good.
It's the lapel.
It's funny. Cobb said the same thing. Thank you, messenger.
Don't. I just killed you.
Then we're even.
Fuck. Damn, dude. Damn. What a bad guy. We gotta stop that bad guy. Isn't he bad? Isn't he a bad guy?
Good afternoon, 47.
Hey, I'm
Your
47.
destination is Marrakesh, Morocco.
I didn't set up the mission right. I'm gonna restart the game. Bad guy, yeah, that guy's so bad. Killer line, also yes. One moment. Gonna restart the old game. Yes. Yes, very good. Okay, okay. Gaming. We're gaming. turning off unnecessary filters. Thank you. Yes. And get rid of that. Don't need that. That. Yes. Okay. Thank you. Thank you. Yeah. Okay, that's a bit much. I didn't. Okay. Okay, we don't. Stop. 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 It's still going on my end. It's still going on my end. It's still going on my end. It's still going. It's still going. What the fuck? What the fuck? Stop. 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 Don't do that. Okay. Let's start it back up. Let me check my messages from fellow streaming men. Okay. We're good. No VSync. No more magic. Okay, and we're pretty, and we're happy. I guess, probably. Oh. Thank you. Yes. Still turning off unnecessary shit. Okay, and I put you here. Yes. Okay, and I turn those off in the background, and then I hit transition on the scene. Yes. Hitting on men. World of boy kissing. Okay, and we were about to go to Marrakesh. We'll start, he broke into a serious building. That'll be our start. What have we not done? Poison food. Urine. The killing of Brigadier General Reza Zidane, who was providing the toilet. Alright, we need to, oops. We need to bring an explosive. No, wait, we should put that... Yeah, this will be good. I'm gonna put an explosive there. Yeah, that's good. Clown, okay. Clown mode. Bring that. And we'll do the... He will shoot the children. No, we'll do... Remote gas vomiting device in the suitcase. I guess we can't start as a clown if we... Okay, well, we'll start as a clown then. And we'll pick this area. Yeah. Clown time. Forward attacks are stronger than back attacks and attract more attention.
Welcome to
Wait, I didn't watch the cutscene. You gotta watch the cutscene. We're playing through the game. I mean, we don't gotta. I think it'd be nice though.
Welcome to Marrakesh, 47. The situation grows more tense by the minute. The consulate is under lockdown, but the protests are only a stone throw away from full-blown riots, and Zaydan won't hesitate to unleash his troops. So whatever you're planning, time is of the essence. Good luck, 47.
Got it. Got it.
Please don't touch me.
That dude don't want to get touched by the clown. Gotta go get our stuff. Crop dust the troops. Salam. Oh! Shouldn't have done that. We're not starting as the clown. We're starting as the soldier. I've changed my mind. We'll do funny clown shit later. We gotta lock in. Alright? We gotta lock in.
You're in.
We gotta beat
Good work,
this game.
47. Now to locate General Zaydan.
True. Me, I be picking up random ass tools. It's normal. Huh?
See what that
What
was.
the?
Acknowledged.
What the?
That is General Reza Zaydan, Keeper of the Peace.
Dang it.
We're good. 10 Hut, General Zaydan. 10 Hut, General Zaydan.
Yeah. Go, 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 go! What the? Give it down! Oh, not the grenade! What the fuck? I'm a ghost. I can be whatever I want to be. My mom told me that. Sorry, bro. Oops. Oops. Oh, it's bad. It's bad. Oh. I died.
You're in. Good work, 47.
You're in.
Now to locate General Zaydan.
You're in. I'm in the club exhibiting extremely normal behavior. I don't even have a sad game good. Yeah, some people do agree. Aw.
25 years old, use the trash can like a grown.
Distraction.
I'm on it.
And tell them to bring over my Tafire and lamb.
So what do you
Yo,
do?
whoop.
Prisoner.
Never you mind.
I didn't mean to do
General
that.
Zayden says the man's a
How do I
traitor,
get back
and
up
that's
there?
all there is to it.
I need to get back up there now.
Whole beat about the
Damn it.
operation. Tried to rat us out.
Target down. Move on to
Let's just go for it. Ow. We need to slow our roll. Okay. Restructure, regroup, start as a clown, return to our roots. Yeah. Yeah, I'm happy with this.
Welcome to Marrakesh, 47. This
Thank you, Diane.
Okay.
Diane grew me in a tube. I'm her test tube baby.
How's your father?
Doing well. Thanks for asking. He's upstairs right now working on.
She decided every attribute about me. Every detail.
Okay. Say this work.
The director. I'm gonna have to drop off the briefcase for now. You think he gets up there? Yeah, go ahead. Tell them that there's a clown with a gun up there. No one's gonna believe you. Go ahead, try.
General Zayden keeps coming down here to check on the prisoners. I hear good luck.
Clown.
Traumatized. That dude thinks he has brain problems now. Straight up.
You're in. Good work.
You're in.
Now to locate General Zayden.
Right. Ah, favorites, man. Come on, man. Come on.
What?
Hey!
Yeah. That's how I fucking feel. That's how I fucking feel.
Welcome to Mar.
Welcome to America 47. This is America 47.
My wife sent me back to get those lamps.
So
Shit, I hate mimes.
Say what?
Shit, I hate mimes. I guess I already got that.
The hell are Crystal Dawn doing?
Ah, thank you. Come closer. Closer, please. I won't bite.
She scares me. I refuse.
I could just about strangle Jerry. Stomach
Yeah, Jerry. Bankers are cankers. Bankers are like canker stores?
I know.
That's not a roadblock, that's a crowbar.
Parking job I've ever seen.
Alright. I'm going in.
You made it. Most impressive, 47.
Oh, thank you.
Now to locate Klaus Strandberg.
Yeah, that's a good point, Diane. You have to locate Klaus Strandberg. Oh. What was that? I'll check it out. Okay. Yeah, go check it out. Okay, I will. Okay, thank you. Okay. Pick up the mouse vomits poison. The mouse vomits poison. Oh. Somebody taking a piss in the van. Pisser. Whoop-bah. Easy. No. No way. Yeah! Kalauchnikov. Kalauchnikov 47. The AK-30. AK-47. Am I okay? Uh-oh. Game seems to be running a lot better. Alright, he didn't care. He didn't care. He didn't care. He didn't care about that. He doesn't care about anything. He's deaf. Okay. He still doesn't care. Let's just knock him out. If he's like asleep standing up, then there's no point. Bartoli. Ooh, explosive.
Take it you met him. Was there when the assault?
We're talking about the metaverse.
The team brought him in. It's weird. Part of me wants.
Where'd my suitcase go? Oh yeah, I threw it at him. Knocked him the heck out. Damn, there's so much deadly shit down here. This is great. Oh, here he comes. Huh? What the? Wait, why do I not have the remote this time? Huh? It's because I didn't take it out and put it back in, huh? That's kind of dumb.
What? Someone's throwing things here. No, you heard. Right.
What the hell is that? Damn.
Whoa. Possible intruder. Sweeping area.
Oh no, he found the fucking body. No. It seems to autosave when things are a little bit more chill. But I'm not sure. Not sure. We all knew that guy wasn't gonna notice. Alright, so drop that over there, grab the briefcase, drop the briefcase over here, take out the vomit device, hide it back in there, and then I keep the remote detonator in my hand. Okay. That's what happens. Got this guy, we just knock him out. Easy. Pick up like a couple of these. Good shotgun. Then wait. This is my briefing casing. Right here. Get this.
Oh.
Wait for him to pick that up. Hit him with the throw up. Yeah, always like pick up the fucking briefcase. Is he still gonna see the body? No. Now I know. Okay, even when you make them sick, they still see the body. Good to know. Good to know. Good to know. Yellow bar mysteriously hanging over my my mini-map. He stopped because he heard that. I keep losing my dang suitcase. Briefcase. The thin yellow line that separates you and me from pissing. Pissing and kissing. There we go. Oh shit, yeah, these guys. I forgot.
Okay.
And then immediately deploy vomit gas. Did it work on anyone? Oh. don't know if it did. Oh well. What? Yeah, I remember every detail of him. Yeah, I remember every single detail of him. I saw the like right side of his face on the left for 0.05 seconds before he blasted me in the temple with a fucking wrench. Amazing. Also, I'm taking a costume. Okay. Whatever. Fucking whatever. Okay.
Wonder what came before the consulate building.
Who cares? Interesting place. I'm most near him now. Where do I fucking go from here? Strange. I've never actually went this way.
Only the best men. You know it.
Mm-hmm.
General Zayden keeps coming down here to check on the prisoner. I hear they were close, so what'd he do, poor bastard?
Way I heard it, his brother was one of the policemen who got killed when the mercs attacked Strandberg's prison transport this morning. So he got cold feet. Tried to throw a lid on the whole operation.
Not smart. But pretty human.
You're in. Good work, 47. Now to locate General Zayden.
General Zayden says the man's a traitor.
I got a sight. Command, I'm under attack!
Oh god damn it, he's behind a wall. Alright. Pretend that I have not even opened up this mission yet. Alright? Everyone pretend. Okay. This is all new, you see. Cannot find this item in your cave. Thanks.
You're in. Good work, 47. Now to locate General Zayden.
This time we're gonna do it for real. This time.
I'm hit!
Target down. Move on to Klaus Strandberg.
Oh fuck! Oh fuck, they're coming. Oh fuck, I'm coming.
Shut up, shut up, shut up.
And I have nothing to report from my
What's up, guys? Hello. I'm going in. I'm a trooper.
I gotta be honest, that is the worst parking job I've ever seen.
That dude fucked his parking just bad.
You made it. Most impressive, 47. Now to locate Klaus Strandberg.
Command, I heard a freaky guy over there.
Nothing here. Returning to post.
Just my weird freaky dreams again, boss.
So, you clear on the emergency procedure?
In case of a security breach, I hit the manual alarm button, which triggers the evacuation protocol. It's pretty straightforward, sir.
Okay, Ace. If you're not worried.
Please go to the reception desk.
Go see what the hell that was.
Hooah.
Wasn't that his boss? Holy fuck. Holy fuck. No way. You're kidding. Hee Everybody getting choked out. We're in the Swedish consulate.
That two-bit con artist? What about the rest of us?
Don't worry, okay? They're probably just a precaution. There's no way Moroccan authorities will allow things to get out of hand. Remember, if it...
Yeah. So true. Where is this guy? He's right here.
Both targets down.
Got him.
Now head towards an exit.
Dude, don't go in there, it's bad.
Come on, get it together.
I'm trying, dude. I'm trying, dude. I'm trying, dude. Wrong fucking way. Wrong way that time. Don't play this heroic music, dude.
Things are heating up. Be advised.
It's bad, dude. The Swedes have lost it. They hate me. They want to get me. I'm freaking them out. Bro, don't worry about it, bro. The Swedes have lost their mind! Dude, take out your gun. I hit H so many times. I've been using computers' keyboards for so long. I know exactly which buttons to press and which ones they are. Alright. I pressed H like a bunch. I leave. I speed. I power walk. That was sloppy. It took a long time.
compromised. But I don't understand. There is no sign of forced entry, no alarms, nothing.
One of my people has gone missing in Johannesburg. A key bearer.
I wish I'd been informed. Still,
A key holder.
The system demands 2 keys, and the rest are all accounted for.
Except for your late predecessors.
Except our deceased ancestor. Cop.
His plane went down over the Pacific. It was an accident.
Such was the conclusion at the time. Yes.
Don't fart.
People die, Mr. Fannin. Happens all the time, even to us. It seems like a conspiracy. Probably isn't. And yet, the failed coup in Morocco, the ether virus. Someone knows about us. There was a pattern and I failed to see it. Providence is under
God damn it.
How much was there?
Money. Not money, Mr. Fannin.
I have no money, Mr. Fannin.
Information.
Letter.
On all of our assets.
That's the
and
result of
operatives.
the investment is advertising with you.
Dig a trench, Director.
Brigade, to dig a trench.
Make it a deep one.
He's growing up because no one is safe anymore. Oh, they took all the porno. God damn. They took the porno.
Good morning, 47. Your destination is the Hitman luxury hotel resort on the Chao Phraya River, just outside Bangkok. Your main target is Jordan Cross, the lead singer of The Class, a renowned indie rock outfit recording their highly anticipated sophomore album. But this millennial poster boy harbors a dark secret.
The connected teen has a dark
Promising young
secret.
actress Hannah Highmore fell to her death from Cross's penthouse.
Crossloft is located in Dumbo, New
According to the
York.
police, Miss Highmore's death was a tragic accident, but her parents remain
Dumbo, New York.
They firmly believe that Cross murdered Hannah and only escaped justice due to the power and influence of his father, billionaire media
Department
mogul
got
Lewis
him.
Cross. A secondary target, Ken Morgan,
Bartman, leave him
corporate
alone.
fixer and attorney to the Cross family, is also staying at the hotel. Cunning and unscrupulous,
Guile and
Morgan was a
hypocrisy.
key agent in the cover-up of Hannah Highmore's murder and Jordan Cross's subsequent acquittal. The Highmores understandably want retribution, and while the system may be powerless,
Even if
ICA is
mine
anything
lacks
but.
string,
I will leave you
Mika
to
is
prepare.
nothing. I'm ready. Okay, no one gives a fuck if you're ready, Diana. Okay? It's about me. Alright. He broke into the kitchen in the dining room. Come on, Hima Pimber, I hear you? The fuck is that supposed to mean? Alright, let's bring some poison. I don't fucking know where this is. I don't know. Fuck it, let's bring some fucking shurikens. If you vomit a poison, the National People's Congress of China will find a place to...
What? What that mean?
Oh, it's tremendously busy here. Only numbers. Sweet cakes are about old here, certainly. Thomas, the cake is going to be, he wants to be inside of the cake. And he wants it to be infused with THC. It's not even illegal in this country. You want me to get it from some street urchin? Some little boy known only to the streets as maybe Ronald. Or like Coco.
Kid named Finger.
Kid named Finger, my drug dealer. I got a plug named Finger.
First it was high carb, low fat.
First it was high fuck, low. Pick up the pain. Pick up pain.
Dates and bamboo milk. I'm not a bloody magician. Like eating a spoonful of
I'm not the blood-covered magician. Look, I don't know.
I have a sense of pride.
Is there any food to poison here? Or is it just like a sausage fest?
That is Ken the Brick.
Oh, he
Morgan,
eats stuff.
Lawyer and corporate
That's dope.
fixer.
He likes that one.
Primitive massage.
Wrong one. Poison office. Easy. Easy work. Hope no one else eats that. I just know some random person about to come and eat that. You don't slurp it up. And then they fucking...
Check again for messages, please.
Fucking... What? And they'd fucking die. Right there. I thought that was the manager talking like that. It's like, holy fuck, she's drunk. She's drunk now. She's a friend of Glug Glug's, if you know what I mean.
So I want to get that package for Wes, but reception
So
says
I want to
it's
get
about
a
to
package.
pick it up an hour ago.
Oi! I want to get that package. Oh yeah. Shoot the thing. Oh, I remember these two. Wait, I'm not trespassing. Who cares? Am I like sneaking around? I can be here. I can be here.
Whoa, relax, Chief. I got it covered, okay?
Wow, loud guy.
Even at very large doses, this compound is not lethal for humans. I mean, okay, yeah, sure.
Remove fog? Maybe.
I guess give you a headache, probably, but I mean that's about it. God.
Easy.
I've done it. Hey, you hear me? We might have some disturbance.
Remove fog. What? We went all the way up here?
Jordan's birthday's today? Yeah, but don't say anything yet. It'll spoil the surprise. Wait till the cake is ready.
Wait, what? Why'd he go up
The
here?
chef is having it specially made for him.
So he's what, like 25? I mean, I bet he knows what he was. I mean, the rich always.
Yeah, sorry I got you freaked out. It was just false.
I did not mean to do it.
Hey, would you mind?
Everything's fine. Someone just threw a fucking butcher.
Okay, do you
Someone
give
threw a
up?
butcher's knife.
I know I've seen him before. On TV, I think. Oh, this is driving me crazy. Okay, I give up.
At the security camera.
Who the hell is he?
New York lawyer. He's the attorney in the Jordan Cross case. You know, when he was prosecuted for murdering his girlfriend, remember?
Prosecuted by, you know,
Totally not who I had in mind, but
foreskin annihilation.
Yeah, okay,
You can put him in the fucking courtroom for foreskin crimes.
Either Jordan died at 27, or
Nobody gets in or out except for VIPs and crew.
Love those entrees.
Oh,
The band and or pregnant they might claim to be. Kitchen staff is the sole exception.
Hold on.
Oh, and two
Okay, all kitchen staff greenlit.
Jordan is sensitive today. Any other questions?
wait, all kitchen staff are greenlit?
Anyone coming through here needs a quick pat down, sir. Security measures.
Oh, sorry, dude. I got hella fucking weed on me, bro. Hold on. That dude finally noticed that I was ucking with his shit. God damn it! I wanna hide the final episode. All right. Nobody take out the trash. Kid named Finger.
Frisk zone, sir. If you want to come through, I need to have a look
Damn
in
it.
the pockets. What do you say?
Pat me down.
Oh, don't be. This is just a formality.
I haven't felt the touch.
All right,
I've
good job,
felt
sir.
it
Thank you.
so long. Oh, the touch.
You were going to tell me about that performance in Barcelona.
Oh,
When's that dude gonna eat the poison sushi?
So, it's back when soft currency.
That is Jordan Cross, revered and reviled in equal measures.
Mm-hmm. Could just like throw something at him. Could just shoot him and run. Might just shoot him and run. Oh yeah, I don't have my gun. Can't just shoot him and run.
Come on, you bastard. Pick it up. You know this number. Morgan. Answering my father's phones now, I see. Moving on to the phone. Yeah, how come?
Bro, frick off.
The black morning. Both know the great Thomas Cross and army of actors,
Everybody acting freaky. Keep records. Not. What's that, like Ableton and Fruity Loops? What is that? Yeah, this is pretty fucking accurate. Huh. This is the dream. I'm waiting for the cross. Yeah?
How's it going? Oh, hey, no need to answer because I'm feeling the same way. Wow.
How do they know I'm trespassing? I thought they said food staff was like allowed up here and shit. Excuse me. Maybe. Oh, he's coming over here. Okay. Hey. Whoop.
I don't get that. Come on. What is... Oh, I definitely heard something. Huh. Really?
Yep, bro, you got to come on over here. Check it out. Come here. He was killed in the battle.
Target down. Next up, Ken Morgan.
Murder.
I don't think Ken Morgan ate his nasty sushi yet, unfortunately. Bedbugs piano. Ah, yes, the Bedbugs piano. Famous instrument. The Bugs piano.
Well, it's easy to assume that Cross got off just because he's rich and famous.
And not entirely without precedent.
True.
Wes bought a Branson MD2? Yep. Also known as Old Sparky.
Old Sparky.
Back in the day. Yeah, well, why would Wes want to use a mic with
All those dudes getting all the perfect levels on their equalizer, tuning 80 hertz, 160 hertz, all sorts of hertz. And yet they don't know that somewhere within the building is a man, and who is their boss? Who is now a man puddle in some wardrobe.
A true culinary artist.
That's me. I come in through the window to make you food. Whee! Huh? Oh, you got to go away, lady. Damn. Freak.
Rich.
He's so rich, he's like richer than rich. He makes such illustrious tones and sounds with his fucking pussy.
The lounge.
He has such a complicated relationship with his father, and he dreads interacting with him, and it's so cool.
As if the noise wasn't enough.
He said somebody was fucking the Roomba. I don't know who it was. But I don't think the Roomba is designed to mop up cum. Oh, here he goes. He's eating the shit. He's eating a different kind of shit. Damn it. Dang it. Dang it.
Yeah, I like top
There we go. Easy.
Easy peasy.
Gotta go.
Target's down. Now head towards an
gotta
exit.
go.
Manager fighting, huh? Well,
Gotta go. Why can I not? Okay, just right here? Okay. Good to know. Interesting.
I've been compromised.
I gotta get in the boat.
Cutscene time.
1 week later.
The body of billionaire media mogul Thomas Cross was discovered earlier this evening, slain by multiple gunshot wounds. Cross was scandalously kidnapped this morning at the funeral of his only son, acclaimed rock musician Jordan Cross. The notorious recluse Thomas Cross has not left the Department of Island in years.
This is dangerous. Open up your head, feel the shell shock. It's dangerous.
Sound like that one Prodigy song, right? Hi, Baldman.
Give it a pussy, boss.
This was no coincidence.
Not by a long shot. Thomas Cross had billions in hidden offshore accounts. All stripped clean within hours of the kidnapping. Someone wanted
You
the same
after
dirt to lure out the
after their
farm.
abduction, everyone was
Someone
naked.
smart enough to stay in the shadows while we did the wet work, and the Highmoors picked up the check.
Check out that empty
A
Hemor.
shadow client. Someone got rich. The contract was just. How is this our problem?
I know you don't care about politics, 47. But
Quote, unquote.
ICA is neutral. Always has
Who the
been.
fuck is
Can't allow
MKA?
ourselves to be manipulated.
Oh.
Besides,
It's happened before.
Yeah, that wig is fucked up, isn't it?
Morocco, Paris. All our clients got their intel the same way. Anonymous tips from a hidden source. Each contract perfectly legit, yet part of a grander design.
I don't see the pattern.
Somebody does.
Someone.
The board has asked us to chase down this shadow client, and our analysts are closing in as we speak.
Oh no.
I know that tone.
She farted.
Someone's playing a game, 47.
Someone is playing, quote unquote.
Question is-
47. Problems.
Against whom?
Amazing. Amazing. Oh shit, we going to this place. We're going to Colorado. This place sucks. We'll take Napoleon blown apart. Yeah. The fart confirms it. You always gotta let the fart guide your decisions. Money. No. Don't take any money. Take spew. Yes, spew. Hold on. Okay. Yeah, sorry, I'm meeting. All right, let's organize trade unions. Wait, what? I'm the explosives guy? Hold up. Ain't no way. Yeah, I'm not gonna do that.
What?
Don't worry about it. I'm cool. I just go through the window. What's wrong with taking a shortcut?
Well,
Horrible death trap. Pick up the spew. Good spew. The guy cared for a second. He cared for just 1 second.
That is Sean Rose, terrorist turned insurgent.
Okay.
Huh? Hell of a baptism by fire, man. You're telling me. I'm impressed. Of course, you don't.
Hey, brother.
Hey, bro. That man.
Stain. Think clean thoughts. Pure, white, pristine, unstained.
What if his head just blew up, though?
Listen up. We're dealing with a highly volatile compound here.
Good flight is compromised. Roads is down.
Okay. Yeah, it was a little too volatile.
Down. Nicely done, 47.
Seems it was a little too volatile, you know? That's me when I see a honking pair. Big titty, you know what I mean?
Things are heating up.
I know it's crazy. Yeah, I just gotta get this. I gotta get this letter to the boss. I gotta get these tax documents over to the boss. That's why I don't have my gun out and I'm running this way. Anyways, I gotta go through the window. I gotta get to the boss. Hey, boss. Hey, boss.
That is Maya Parvati, Sri Lankan
Hey,
assassin
boss.
turned pirate turned insurgent.
Alright.
That's crazy, man.
It's fucking got me! Oh, stop it there!
Maya
Get the
Parvati
tube!
is down. Good work.
Do they know? They know! They know!
Step! Oh! Oh! Get in the tube! Ah!
It's not going too good, right? Started the message again. Okay. Okay.
Mogadishu, huh? Hell of a baptism by fire, man.
Mogadishu, huh? Mogadishu me, you know what I'm saying?
So, not to be a pain, but what's the point of practicing if Burgess is out of commission, boss?
Well, how about because I told you so?
Well, how about Napoleon Bonaparte?
Oh, yeah, sure. It's just that we're only around 60% capacity here.
Burgess got his ass creamed. Oh.
Burgess got his ass creamed.
Maya Parvati is down. Good work.
Bro! I was fucked up back there. You wouldn't believe.
Whatever. Okay, they're both over there. Mm-hmm. Still just having a little meeting. And I shoot you through the fence. Shoot you through the fence. Shoot you through the
Graves is down.
fence.
Excellent work, 47.
Oh god! Oh, they know! Oh, they know! Oh, they know!
Do is epic! Yeah, I try to be. It's going a little crazy right now.
She was epic.
I'm real epic sauce with it. Hi, Atticon.
Baptism by fire, man.
Baptism by fire, you know what I'm like.
Wait, what? There's an emo guy.
Yeah. Yeah, and it's atrocious. It's fucking the most wretched of voices.
You know, I've been thinking. In school, they always talked a lot about the simple.
Hi, man.
I'm not going up there.
Tonight will be the night that I will fall for you over again. Don't make me change my mind.
He's such a beautiful singster. He's such a beautiful songlet. He's so good at songing.
Apparently it all got a bit too much for them with the mask. Just there to support the
Everyone's favorite mission in Hitman. This one.
I didn't recognize you in your work clothes.
Well, that's the idea. So, this area's a restricted area. I can't let you in.
This area is a restricted area.
That is Penelope Graves, acclaimed anti-terror analyst. Strange to see her as part of this crowd.
I thought they said animist at first. Jesus, man. That was violencia.
47. 2 flies with 1 swat. Ezra Berg has been eliminated. Good work, 47.
Oh shit! I always fuck it up!
Stop that right now.
Copy that.
Tuck run. Ow! Ah! Look alive. The proverbial shit is about to hit the fan. I need cover fire.
Get in the fucking hole. Me singing along to my favorite music wearing headphones. His voice really hits like that quiet screaming voice. Yeah. I guess I can't reload my pistol while I'm in here. Agent 47 should lobby for baldness being the only allowed haircut. That way he would never get caught. I think the only haircut should be bald.
I need you to stand up. Let's go. Did you get a look at the guy? Any idea?
That guy's naked. That guy's naked.
Bro, go away.
If you try to run, I've got 6 little friends here. They can all run faster than you.
He wasn't talking to me, right? He wasn't talking to me,
Come on,
right?
copy. I'm at the location now, and I have nothing to report. Over. Affirmative. Moving on.
They're not talking to me, right? It's not all about me, right? Bruh.
Yeah, okay, so Ramirez speaks Spanish. Hmm? So what? We're not going to Mexico to chat to the natives. We're going to blow shit up. Right? I know. And that law.
No.
More barcode tattoo representation. Possibly.
So this test that Rose has planned.
Hi. Oh my god, they saw me. Oh my god. OMG, 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 OMG. How'd they see me? What the fuck? God damn it. Gen Z Hitman QR code tattoo. Real? I have a need for restructuring. He will shoot the children. He will shoot the children. We're going out to the water tower. I'm gonna climb up there. We gotta drink water. This is how they make you drink water up here to toughen you up. Make sure everyone's, you know, cool in the same way. I'm gonna save here. Okay, okay. Could shoot the taco van, but that would hurt the tacos. Okay, they're coming out for the meeting. Okay, okay. So this guy, pop him. These two, pop them.
Sean Rose confirmed
Pop 'em.
down. Nicely done, 47.
And the other one, we're gonna have to wait.
Nicely done, 47. 2 flies with 1 swat. Ezra Berg has been eliminated. Good work, 47.
Just gonna chill in here for a while. Actually, well, she's making pretty good progress, you know, going away or whatever.
Tango has vanished.
Something's not right. I can smell it.
Control, how copy?
All right.
I want to lecture you with your job. Things are still on.
Maya Parvati is down. Good work.
We are the best of the best, gentlemen, and you are paid very well, so let's go. Weapons hot. Understood. Let's do this. Oi, you.
Wait, 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 wait. Not today, bro. Not today. I got to go. I got stuff to watch. I got games on my phone I gotta play. There's like 18 people that have challenged me on chess.com, also live chess. I run both simultaneously. And we leave. Whee! Wow, he teleported. Sniper.
Rose is gone.
It was me, wasn't it? They tracked me.
Follow me.
I took every precaution.
Rose knew the risks.
Roz knew the risks. Everyone knows the risks.
You did well, Olivia. I am proud of you. Now listen. The ICA knows about you.
Ika knows you. They live because they need you, but not now.
Now they don't. We won't talk
I won't
again
tell you more until the weather calms down.
until the storm is over.
I don't like it.
I don't like that. To this guy, you know what he can do. We'll finish this now.
I
I ran when I was little.
As a boy.
My friends and I.
My friend and I. Away from
Leave.
that place. We came upon a
I know
small
the little
farming
bird. People
community.
were
The
poor,
people
but
were
they
dirt
received
poor,
us.
But this woman, she took us in. We were awakened the
Just
next
when I
morning
woke up, I heard gunshots.
by the shots. A dozen people lay face down in the snow.
12 men were lying in the snow.
Our warden
Our manager, I don't like to leave
didn't like
witnesses.
to leave witnesses. They shot the woman and her family last. They made sure that we
One of the
watched
women and
the
her
whole
family
thing.
came out so that we could see everything.
This is your
Prince
gift.
said, this is your duty.
The warden told us.
What?
Your gift and your curse.
This is your gift and curse.
Touching lives.
If it ends this way, it will affect your life. Implementation.
Better than anyone.
Unlike others. Sam, are you here in chat? If so, did you give me East Coast times or did you give me Central times? Hi. East Coast? Okay. Weird. Breakfast at Mountain Road. So you're prepping to play some Spore in a bit, yeah? Yeah? Rhetorical question. Yeah. And you're good, and you're making me in Spore, yeah? Yeah. So I've been told, so I've been made aware, so I've been watching the progress of. Yes. Cool. Recreating this ball. Rubbing my hands together like a fly, as you should. As you should. There we go. I'll put them here. Little smaller friend. Hell yeah. Well, that'll be a good time for me to take a little break. And by little, I mean I'm gonna watch your entire stream.
Welcome to Hokkaido.
And raid you when you go live.
The Gamma Private Hospital provides cutting-edge medical treatment for the global elite, outside the law if required. The facility is partially run by an artificial intelligence system known as Kai. The AI oversees patient admission to various areas in the hospital.
We've seen this.
Mr. Reaper, as part of the service here at Gamma,
Yeah, I can't do shit to that guy. Wait, I can.
device
Hold
will
on.
unlock and allow access to your personal suite.
Rubbing my hands together like a fly.
No,
Such a good visual. I'm in. Yeah, that's how I feel fucking up right there. Hold on. If you see faces, you can disguise yourself as an activist. That actually told me everything I need to know. That told me everything I need to know.
That's a little hard.
Easy work. Morgue. Morgue is short for more organ.
Hey, so you're the curator's
Maybe.
research aide, right?
Let me guess. You want to know about the medical trial?
Oh, so it is true. The guy's had a mood-altering neurochip implanted in his brain, so...
Yeah. Basically, he did, yes. Stem cell pumper.
Warning.
Warning, warning.
SHlTMAN. No vital signs detected.
That is Eric Soda's, former
Damn, he's so
training
dead.
director at the ICA. Regrettable.
Guy's super dead now. Sad.
That's very difficult to go into. Not prepared to speculate. As long as all the evidence is salvaged. Our job is...
Whoa! Bro.
Well, it's about tea time anyway.
yeah. Nice. I'm you now. It's probably really difficult to change your outfit while you're crouched. Dude, they changed his name to Eric Chodes? Okay, I think I gotta pick up woman. Woman.
It's me. Are the final details?
That is the right-sided donor heart destined for Sodas. This is what he sold out the ICA for.
One easy beat.
Reduce ambient temperature. Not.
I do still wish we'd be able to put it into someone, well, younger, frankly. There are only so many years left in the old man, after all.
Takes out knife, puts it away. No, I'll go. Yeah, no, yeah. I'll be this guy. Also, but I thought I killed this guy. I don't think I did. I should go like stab him, something. I don't have any tools. I don't have any tools to open anything up. I thought it would be nice starting next to Eric Soda. Wait. Okay, it's just a butcher's knife, whatever. Inappropriate data transfer.
Himself. Wow, that's dedication.
What the hell?
Curator's as bipolar as they come.
Remote gas vomiting device.
Cybernetics doesn't sit right with a lot of people.
So the
osmosis drugs.
Suck it in.
Sorry, buddy. You're trespassing. Please turn around, sir. I already warned you.
This is your
Patient
He's so dead. He's so dead.
To be honest, I'm not sure what to feel about this one. Well, that's for another time. Yamazaki awaits.
Sometimes you gotta go loud. Sometimes you just gotta go loud. Alright, let's see if we can wrap this up in 8 minutes. As is tradition. They're like, hey, hospital director.
Please come to the operating
Hey, there was like a motherfucking... There's some bad shit that went down, bro. You should come check it out. I'm just telling you. Just saying. It's pretty bad. Dude, somebody came through with a fucking gun and shot one of the patients during surgery, bro. It's bad, dude. Had this cool new AI. I didn't know what to do. I wasn't prepared for some guy to come in with a fucking gun. We didn't tell it what to do in that situation.
Could I ask you for some food?
I ask you for some food.
We're all.
1,000 apologies, miss, but hospital administration...
Could I ask you for some goo-goo roll?
There was an incident.
2 injections? No.
No staff through here. Director's orders. Move on.
2 injections? Now my penis is gone.
Well, I'm sure you can make an exception this one.
2 injections and my dick has been completely vaporized. Congratulate.
I'm a lawyer. I see them all.
Huh?
Mr. Jason Porter.
Vomit gas.
Come to the hospital entrance.
Yeah, I got her.
A doctor will escort you to your
You
checkup.
okay? Going on here?
That was for Mr. Jason Portman.
Oh, she ate some bad food.
Please proceed to the hospital entrance.
She ate 14 rancid 40-year-old burgers. She drank Crystal Pepsi from 90 years ago. She drank uric acid Bevis.
You're kidding me.
Oh, dude, it's coming out both ends. Somebody just put her out of her misery, dude. Ouch. Yeah.
That's both targets down. Time to find an exit. We're done here.
Don't worry, boys.
You do shiatsu massage?
You have no idea how much I do shiatsu massage. Shiatsu. Even. It's time to fly, bitch. It's time to fly, bitch. Did somebody just take off on my fucking helicopter? Excuse me. Hospital director to helipad. Something else really bad has happened, but not as bad as the first thing. Master Assassin of hand-to-hand combat. Thanks. Mrs. Burnwood? It's also not mine. I understand what you mean. I will add that this is clear and clear. It is a pity that a poor man can be fired. Flop, flop, adjust. I didn't ask you what your name was. No, I won't do it. There will be no revenge. And this is not because of the Saudis or the recent controversy. His research is contrary to our work. Kill our customers and make MCA look crazy. What, from like the Beastie Boys? I think I touched myself. I think I touched myself. Closer than ever. That's why we hired you to destroy it. I don't think so.
Don't play around with our names, Mrs. Burnwood. Of course you don't know. Trana, people's gifts. Do you have the courage to ask us for help? To ask us for help? No, you can't believe it. You can't believe it. But we've been here for a long time. Time. I think we can help each other. Here, take my card. About 20 years old. His institution accepts young people with special talents. Special talents. You take care of your own way. Invincible. Since then, I no longer think about where he came from. And who made it today. He is a doctor. The impression fell. But he disappeared. Wrong. If you think there is doubt, there's nothing left to discuss. Otherwise, as I said, I think we can help each other. So who is your partner? Please look lightly at Burnwood's strengths. We were a little angry. But we were a little angry. Is this terrorism? All he wants is chaos. Psh, psh, if he wins, there will be nothing but horror. Miss Burnwood, we won once. How do you say, this is the conversation? Bro, I'd be so confused. How do you say, this is the conversation? And it's just that little paper that it has written in... It's just a little piece of paper. And it just has their entire conversation they just had written on it. This is the conversation. Hitman. Alright. We beat the first game. That in the new trilogy. Yep. We beat the first game. Perfect timing. Perfect timing. Because we are going to raid Sam here in a little bit once he goes live. You say, did you say 4 or 5? What'd you say? Oh, you said like 5. What'd you say? Because I'll just keep playing Hitman. 5. 5 is a 4 here, and it is 4 here, so he should be. I wonder if he's live. What's he doing? What do they call it? Halftime show. Here we go. Thank you. Prepare for the halftime show. I don't know. This will be good, I think. Prepare for the halftime show. We will be back. We will be back. I'll be back. Let me make sure he's actually live. I don't know if he's live.
Ba 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 ba. Dude is live. Bro's live. All right, we're raiding Sam. I will see y'all after his stream. He's gonna be streaming Spore. He's gonna be making me. Fucked up, but true. And after that, we'll be playing some more Hitman. So I'll see y'all around 8 that time. I guess 7 my time? Yeah. Yeah, I will see y'all there. Thanks for tuning in. And I'll see you for Hitman 2 and 3 later tonight.